I am live on both platforms. I got my YouTube over here and I'm blurry. Let me get me a towel and wipe that off. Facebook is over here. You're fine. Give me 1 second here, please. What I'm going to do is actually use my shirt and clean that camera off. I hope that helps right there. Come here, chair. Ooh. Good morning. What's all over me? I got stuff all over me. That's lint of some sort. Good morning, everybody. I got two different devices here working. It does appear as though the computer, which is my laptop on YouTube, is a little bit, I don't know, if it's not bad, it's kind of like opaque. It's like an opaque. I feel like I'm crystal clear over on Facebook. Do not jump around platforms. You don't have to do all of that. I'm blessed to have you all here, and it looks like both YouTube and Facebook are all connected. It's nice to see you all. I did have to make one quick adjustment, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. Anyway, good afternoon, folks. It's nice to see you. I'm going to try to, if you see me looking back and forth, it's not because I'm going crazy. I'm just trying to keep up with the comments on both of my different devices. I am here at Longhorn Lester's, and this is in fact lunch with Longhorn Lester. Grace says, Lester, hi from Dublin, Ireland. Who does that? That's beautiful. I love that. I don't know sometimes how we have all made each other's acquaintance, how you found us, but I am so blessed to have you. We got folks checking in from England and just all across this amazing United States. I want to, first of all, think about those folks who have undergone some horrific weather here lately. Not ourselves, we're fine, but all those tornadoes happening across the country. We have somebody from Denmark. It's evening in Denmark. Diana, welcome. Denmark, Diana. That's beautiful. Over here is another person from Denmark as well. Bente Nelson, and I know for a fact I'm probably saying that name incorrectly, but it's nice to see you all. Thank you all for joining us on a lunch with Longhorn Lester. Today we're going to talk about some of the animals who have left us. I know I'm a little bit distraught because even though it was Puerto Rico está en la casa. Puerto Rico está en la casa. That means Puerto Rico's in the house, y'all. That's beautiful. So Puerto Rico, y'all, they do speak English there. Even though when I went to Puerto Rico, I was hoping to use some of the language, but everyone spoke English to me. I'm like, gosh darn it. All the Spanish I learned for nothing. Puerto Rico was beautiful. We had so much fun there. But there was one thing about Puerto Rico that I remember. There are sand, what do they call those things? There's a type of, it's not sand fleas or sand ticks. It might be ticks that we had to be careful about on the sand. And they actually at the hotel gave us stuff to put on our skin so as not to be affected by the ticks. My dad said that whenever he was in, I'm going to guess it was Camp Lejeune there in North Carolina, that they had sand ticks there as well. And that was back during his Marine Corps days. I know, okay, so I know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and at some point it will become another one of our states. I know that I think that they have a very democratic system there as far as governors and mayors and all of those kind of things. They have elections. I know they have a very, very strong American influence there. I just thought they would speak more Spanish than what they actually do. Oh, hey, you guys. Kendra and Xander. Y'all come over here and sit down for a minute. Come pull some chairs up. Xander and Kendra are here with me. Over here, Xander. I got you over here. You can't sit beside Kendra. I'm going to, hold on. Y'all come pull up a chair. Now, you're going to have to squeeze in kind of close here. Looky here. Now, okay, so the only problem is now on YouTube, everything's wonderful because YouTube has this kind of a layout. What do you call this layout? Horizontal, I know, landscape. But is this called landscape?
I think so.
So YouTube's in a landscape, but Facebook is in a vertical. What do you call that? You don't know what they
Vertical?
call that? Vertical.
I don't
So
know.
listen, I'm going to try to hold on one second. I'm just trying to adjust one camera here so we can get Xander and Kendra in the same shot. And I can only do that by pushing my camera so far away.
Let me move it back.
Yeah, we put it that
So
way.
you guys on YouTube are fine. Don't leave YouTube. Don't leave. Xander, if you can only, can you even see my phone over there?
I can see it.
Can you adjust it at all?
Yeah.
No, now you took poor Kendra completely out of the frame. How far back does one have to go to get everybody in a vertical? I am so sorry you're having to help me, guys.
It's all right. I can lean over a little bit.
Oh yeah, you gotta get closer. You gotta get close. That's fine. I'll just suck my shoulders in like this right here, like Shirley Temple. Y'all just squeeze in here close to me. That looks
There
about
you go.
ridiculous. And then how? So this is kind of neat, but on that camera way over there, it's we're all correct, but over here it's not mirrored. You see that? So you're
Yeah.
actually on this side,
Mm-hmm.
even
You're on your
though
right. Yeah.
this is very confusing. Anyway, let's have some fun today. Y'all have some fun?
Sure.
I hope you're already
Absolutely.
having fun. They helped us load all of Ellie's babies this morning. And there was a lot. How many goats did we load this morning? Not only goats, but alpaca,
I think probably
ram.
total animals, I'd say 15 to 20.
It was
at
a lot.
least,
Did
yeah.
you happen to count? I know Kendra was videoing for us. Did you happen to count?
Yeah,
I didn't
maybe
count.
it was between like 10 and 15.
It was a lot of babies. So we loaded some yesterday with Jake and others today. How would y'all like to compete with each other in a fun dad joke challenge? Y'all like dad jokes?
I guess, yeah.
So if you guys don't know, Xander is Jamie's son, and Kendra is his fiance, and we love her. We just love her.
Oh, thank
Xander's
you.
okay. Jamie and I have learned to deal with Xander, but boy, we sure do love this Kendra. We just love her so much. I'm playing. I'm messing with them. How long you guys gonna be down for?
I think we fly out on Monday.
So you came in just for a couple of days to help do some cleanup. And if you don't know, Xander is he's an apprentice electrician.
Yep.
Is that how you would refer to yourself?
Yes, sir.
And so he is learning how to work with electricity, and we got some jobs for him over at the sanctuary. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I was informed.
And you
Little
brought
bit.
your toolbox with you.
Not everything, just testers. I couldn't bring them.
How hard was it to get on that plane with any kind of device?
Not really. I mean, they're just testers. It's not like it's like an actual weapon. They basically just said if it's bigger than a cell phone, you got to put it in the tub. So
Okay. So they didn't never pull it out of your bag or anything?
Nope.
Oh.
I just asked them about it before we went through, so I didn't have to deal with it.
I
So,
would think that if I'm sitting there scanning at the TSA and I see anything with wires and prongs, I'd be pushing buttons left and right. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys got through okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So some dad jokes. Who wants to go first, Xander or Kendra? Xander?
I
Okay.
guess
Kendra has
guess
what do
I'll
you give her?
figure it
That was
out.
it. Here's the rule. You cannot laugh. You can't even crack a smile. You have
Oh,
to
God.
you have
Hard.
and you can't make him laugh, okay? You're already giggling.
I know. When you tell me not to laugh, I'm gonna laugh.
Oh no. Okay. Well, we'll make this real short and sweet. Hold on. So someone says, Lester, I apologize for sending all of those cleaning products through Amazon. I missed the live where you asked us not to send anything. Let me address that real fast. We're not upset with anything. It's just difficult with all that's going on, with all the cleanup and all that, to be opening packages at the same time. So I'm not concerned about that. Thank you very much. That was kind of you. Okay, Xander, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do not make him laugh, and
I
don't make.
can't
You're over here
even-
laughing right now.
I can't take you
Smirked.
seriously.
Me or her?
You.
Don't take me seriously, and everybody here knows not to take me seriously. Do y'all
I
know
know
why?
that's the problem.
Y'all
I'm
know
gonna
why I
laugh.
have two devices out? Or y'all curious about that?
YouTube
No,
and
it's okay.
Facebook.
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, Xander, have you ever heard of the Canary Islands?
No.
Okay. Well, the Canary Islands really are a group of islands right off the coast of Spain.
Okay.
But could you believe that on the entire Canary Islands, there's not even a single canary? None, not a one. There's not a one. They're called the Canary Islands, but there's not a single canary.
That's just
Now-
weird to me.
Okay, well, guess what? The same can be true. The same can be said about the U.S. Virgin Islands. There's not a single canary anywhere on them islands.
It's just awkward silence now.
That wasn't funny to you?
I mean, a little bit, but
Was that funny to you? Is that funny to anybody? Look, there's a bunch of laughy faces on the computer. What's wrong with you kids?
I mean,
Listen, on the Canary Islands, there's not a single canary. The same can be said about the Virgin Islands.
There's not a single virgin.
Well, you're thinking there's not a single virgin, but I said there's not a single canary. Okay.
yeah.
Xander got the point. He did not laugh. Kendra, it's your turn. Are you ready?
Wait, can I like?
Get yourself ready.
Can I like smile?
Do you have to smile? Because Xander didn't smile. He's
Fine.
I had to like try to bite my tongue, so I did it.
You know, last night, me and Jamie watched 3 movies back to back. Poor Jamie missed the entire thing because she sat facing away from the TV.
Sorry, they're just corny.
Those are corny.
Yeah.
We watched 3 movies back to back to back. Poor Jamie missed all 3 of them because she sat facing away from the TV. You don't get the humor in
I
the.
I
get
get
it,
it.
but
Back
it's
to
just
funny.
back, and I
It's just
get
not
it.
making me laugh that much. That's
Yeah.
all. I'm sorry.
Gotta come up with some better ones.
This is an ultimate fail on my part because I think these are hilarious. Someone said I smelled that one
See,
coming.
look. Xander's right. Corny.
Well, y'all are no fun at all. Where's my paper? Because I had some stuff written down.
He's got a script.
Xander.
Yeah.
I know you guys have been inside this morning helping Jamie do some pickles.
Yeah.
Well, have y'all heard of that famous pickle? He was a really big deal. Y'all gotta laugh at something out here.
Aren't we
They're
just
just-
playing to try not to laugh?
Yeah.
Your goal is, well, yes, but I want y'all to fail at your jobs. I want you to fail. I want you to laugh here. Gosh darn it. What an audience. Kendra, you ready for yours?
Wait, I gotta make sure I don't look at your.
Oh my gosh. What do you call a shoe made out of a banana? What do you call a shoe made from a banana? A slipper. Oh my God.
Can't lie to you.
Laugh. People are laughing. How come people are laughing and y'all are not?
At you.
I think
What's
they're
wrong
finding-
with these two? They're not
finding more
laughing.
enjoyment in our reaction.
Huh? Okay, Xander, last one for you. I'm about sick of this. What do you call a fake noodle?
I've heard this one before. I'm trying to remember what it was.
An impasta. An impasta. No, you're not
I
going to
was
read
gonna read you one.
my... Okay, last one for you, Kendra. Y'all are just too good for me. Kendra, how is the best way to make a tomato blush?
How?
Turn it towards the salad dressing.
I don't get that.
The salad. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
y'all.
the salad is closed.
Like the salad's putting on clothes as the salad is dressing, you make the tomato blush if you turn it towards the salad dressing.
Oh,
Never
I got
mind.
it.
Come over here a little bit closer. Kendra
Wait.
and
You did-
Xander. Hold on. Kendra and Xander are here. Guys, they're here to help us out for a couple of days. We're going to go eat in a couple of minutes as soon as I'm done here, and then go to the JL Ranch property where we got a couple of jobs for you all. And tomorrow is the big day at the sanctuary with Xander getting to put his electrical skills to the test. Are you nervous about that? Because
Not
we
really.
we have no power to our barn. We have no power to different outlets inside the barn dominium. And so you're going to try to help us figure these out. Kathy says, you need better jokes, Lester. Kathy, thank you.
She said it, not me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, she's being kind. And look, she also said it with a super chat. So I appreciate that, Miss Kathy. Thank you very much. No one has to do that, though. But that was very kind of you. And everyone's saying, oh, my God, Lester, give it up already. I'm going to give it up. I'm done with that. Listen, I mean, I've
Next
gone through
segment.
some, huh?
Said next segment.
Next segment. Thank you,
No
Xander.
problem.
Thank you, Kendra.
No problem.
Y'all need to go in there and just take something for humor. I'm gonna thank y'all for joining me. Y'all
We
can
can answer questions.
y'all want to answer
No,
questions?
that's fine.
All right. Can anyone ask some good questions for Xander or Kendra? Kendra, can you read that small font on that phone, or is it too far away?
Well, I don't
Pull
even
it
have my
closer.
contacts
Pull
in.
it closer to us. Let's get some questions from Xander and
Okay.
Kendra. Those are corny dad jokes. I agree
Yep.
with Kathy. You need better jokes, Lester. Sorry, guys. I thought those were wonderful jokes. I took so much time. I wrote them down. If I take time to write stuff down, I thought they were going to be good jokes. Are you able to read? Oh, any
Yeah.
wedding plans for you guys? What are y'all's wedding plans? We never talk about y'all enough as far as all of that. So let me tell you a little backdrop. So we know that Dusty and Jill finally got married. Now they were going to get married for forever. They finally got married. Jake and Lissa finally got married. Ellie and Megan still have not gotten married, but they're going to. And then you guys are destined to walk that aisle. What have y'all talked or thought, or what is the thought process behind all of that? And that's one of their questions, not mine.
I mean, probably a little bit. I mean, I just wanted to get a steady career first, not like a job. I wanted something where I can, like, at least with like insurance or some sort of benefits or something to where we both could have values in it, basically.
That's very responsible. And then I'll kind of tie back into when I taught school. I would always tell my high schoolers not to run off and get married right away. Live a little bit, get your careers or your future lined out, because there's plenty of time for all that romance and babies and all that kind of stuff later. But I respect that. You want to get your career lined up, get all your insurances all taken care of, and everything like that. And then you guys are both only 21, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I got married to Ellie's mom whenever I was 28. And even though I feel like I may have been a little bit older than those other people around me, it worked out wonderful because I felt like we were both mature enough to be married. And we were married for 14 years. So you guys have been together for how long?
About 4 years.
So y'all been dating and stuff for 4 years, ever since high
Yeah.
school?
He was
She
in high
was
school.
out.
Yeah.
I was still in.
And so Xander, how Kendra, I'm going to ask you this since we got the camera on you.
Okay.
How did Xander approach you? I don't mean to embarrass him. How did Xander approach you the first time, or do you remember? Oh, you
We've already
embarrassed yourself.
talked to you about this.
Okay,
This
you
is-
can't talk about it. Is this
We
something we don't talk
can.
about?
No,
Only if
It
you
was-
feel comfy. Only if you feel comfy.
that's fine. It was just through social media.
I'm sure.
basically.
I'm sure everyone's heard of Snapchat. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we know about Snapchat. Can you do me a favor, real fast, Xander? Get
Okay,
out
yeah.
your y'all. Y'all need to
Absolutely.
watch this. There's something wrong with this over here.
Not a problem.
Xander's going to take his Snapchat and take a picture of me with an age progression filter. Kendra,
Oh,
I
I
don't.
already got it.
Okay, everyone,
I saved
Xander,
that thing.
show everybody how I'm going to look in the next 50 years. I look just like my dad. Show
Show
both.
that one.
Show both. So that's going to be me.
Side by side.
That's
Looky
me.
there.
That's yeah. There we go. That's going to be me, and I look just like my dad. And now show everybody how you're going to look in 50 years.
Okay.
Here goes Xander
I'll take off the hat.
with a 50 years age progression. Still very, very unfair
Yeah.
because look, he shows his age. He's showing to be a much older gentleman. That will be
scene.
him at the age of 70. But now this is the part that's so unfair. Look at Kendra in 50 years. You still have her?
There you go. No, you can take it.
This is not fair at all. This is so unfair. She looks the same. That
Yeah,
is so
virtually.
that is so unfair that us men have to age and I look like Santa Claus. You are a very good-looking 70-year-old. You know
That's
that?
a good thing.
This is gonna be a really pretty 70-year-old.
I look like I go to country club.
Xander, you're gonna have to keep a close eye on her because you're gonna be old and feeble and walking on a cane or a walker or a wheelchair. She's gonna be on the dance floor and it's gonna be all kinds of trouble. I am so sorry I cannot get both of y'all on. Hey,
It's okay.
do not be mad at me, Facebook. You're mad at me for not showing the kids. We're as close as we're rubbing elbows here. We're rubbing elbows. I don't know what else to do. Facebook wants the videos up and down. YouTube wants them this way. We have to do what our boss tells us to do. Let's talk about y'all's bosses real fast. Now, you guys are both working. Now you are just out of one job going to another, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that
waiting.
process. I'm going to put the camera a little bit closer and more on you. We're not
Okay.
trying to avoid you,
No,
Kendra.
yeah, I know.
All right, Xander, talk about your first experience with the union and how all that's going.
So basically, I applied, I passed their aptitude test, and I basically got my first interview date. And they told me that I need 450 hours to request for my second. So then I have to fill out another application, wait 450 hours, or do the 450 hours, give them my pay stubs, and then wait till they send me another interview date.
So without me doing the math, how many weeks of work is 450 hours?
Well, if you're doing 40-hour weeks,
A lot.
basically, it's probably 2 to 3 months at least. And that's, I mean, if you can get overtime too, then it's probably closer to the 2 month side. But
Okay.
regardless, if you can only get 80 hours a week or 80 hours every 2 weeks, then you can only basically do it in 3 months
Wow.
or a little more.
Are you reading comments?
Yeah, I was trying to see if anyone was answering that question.
What? Oh, were they doing the math
Yeah.
for us? And then
think
yes,
so.
they
They're
do raise.
computing it.
They do raise German shepherds. Do you have a
Yep.
picture of your dogs on your phone?
We do.
So I
Many.
cannot go visit Xander or Kendra. Jamie will, but I cannot because they have mean dogs.
No, we.
They are.
Well, they're not mean to you guys, but they hate me. I think they can
They-
smell.
they
They can
love
smell
them.
other animals on me. So we're excited about Xander. Lester, they are not laughing at your dad jokes because they're not dads.
That would probably make sense.
That may make some sense, I guess. Yes, Kendra has a job as well. She works with kiddos, little munchkins.
Yeah. I work at a daycare.
What
with-
age group are those
I
kids?
work in the baby room, so they could be anywhere
Ooh.
between 6 weeks old to 15 months old.
Does that make you not be in any kind of a hurry to have children of your own because you work with kids all the time?
I don't know. I love kids, so
How many kids do you want to have one of these days? You ever thought about that yet? Like how
Yeah.
many? You have an idea? How many? Don't say two, one boy, one girl, and then everyone
No.
says that. Everyone says two.
between like 1 and 3. Like 3 would be like the max. Like no more.
That's a good number. And do you prefer to have a boy or a girl first, or does it really matter?
Boy,
first.
I would want boy. If I get like one boy, I'd be content.
So you
I
say
want a
one
boy.
boy and I'm good, and then the rest can all be girls. Yeah, you may want to ask Xander about that. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later about how we can guarantee all of that because I know the science behind it. That's a long story. We're not going to go into that right now. Anyway, are you also looking for your dog pictures?
Yeah.
I have one. If you want to get Chief, I'll do Ace.
Oh look, I got both.
Oh,
All right, so-
never mind
Make sure you show both cameras.
That one
Is Ace.
is Ace, and that one is Chief.
Y'all have had Chief longer, correct?
Yeah, Chief
Yes.
is 3 and Ace is just
Chief
got to turn
And
1.
Ace.
That's awesome. And then
Aw, my
those are your
babies.
pride and joy. And so
Basically.
when you guys go to work every day, so I don't know if y'all know this or not. We haven't been to the JL yet.
Yeah.
But y'all do know that we've taken Sadie over to the JL and she spends her days there.
Mhm.
Now, of course, I'm over there in the mornings for feed up, and then I go back in the afternoons. Even last night, I had to say my goodbyes. I went and slept with Sadie.
Mhm.
How many hours a day do y'all have to sometimes leave your dogs? Because people get mad at me for leaving Sadie by herself. But I'm like, wait a minute. People that have animals that go to work every day, they have to leave their dogs somewhere.
Yeah.
So about how many hours a day do you guys have to leave your pets?
So one dog is out the entire time. That's
Yeah.
Chief, just because we can trust him roaming. We just can't let him get into the bathroom or just get to little stuff like that.
So it's in the house, in
he
the
just
house.
runs around, but he can get to food and water at all times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, our younger one, Ace, he can't be trusted.
He's
At
there
all.
now.
What does he do? Is he younger? So he's more into
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
chewing,
Yes.
like
yes.
chews on stuff.
Shoes, anything.
So he stays in a kennel then.
Yeah. And we're typically gone. I mean, at max, I'd say probably a little like 8 hours.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
a
would
little
say
bit
just
more.
because like I leave first, Xander stays home for a little bit before he has to go to work, and then Xander also would get home before me, and I would like Xander. I don't know. He was there more with them.
But even so, 8 hours or so. And I think that most people that go to work every day, hey, sweetie, we got dogs coming to visit us. I think that most people that go to work every day, their dogs are used to being between 8 and 10 hours in a
Yeah.
kennel or around.
Yeah.
So Sadie doesn't have it that bad, y'all. She's not that bad off. I know you people worry about them, but a lot of people have to go to work every day and they leave their babies. We leave all these guys here when we're other properties and stuff, and You just hope that they can, whatever they're doing, either in the house or in the shop, they just can be sweet and not chew on everything. And none of our dogs chew, so we're blessed for that. All right. Well, listen, I don't really see many people asking direct questions.
There were up top, but we were.
Did you remember any of those questions?
No, not exactly.
Lester, your gender theory worked out perfect for Jake. Yes, it did. And it's not a theory, y'all. I know a little bit about science, okay? This is just science that no one wants you to know about.
What do they call that? Can you do like is that the dichotomous key or something like that you can do?
Tell me about that. I have no idea what you're saying.
It's like traits that people have, or like, I can't exactly remember, or like.
No, I'm trying to tell you how to get a guaranteed boy compared to a girl.
Oh,
okay. There's no guarantee.
Young lady, I am not going to sit here and have this talk with you, but there is a guaranteed way. I will talk to Xander about it, and he can share it with you later if he wants to. People on Facebook think that's the funniest thing ever. And it's not funny. It's science, y'all. It's not funny. It's science. I've never been wrong.
All right.
Do you have any question? Do you want me to tell you right now?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you want to hear this right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it have to do anything with like your parents, your grandparents?
No, Xander. All right. So I'm going to have to ask for your participation, friends. And you can do simply yes or no. Okay. So, and I'm so sorry. Facebook, don't be upset with me. I cannot everyone keeps saying you can't see. They can't see. They can't see. It's impossible to get all three of us in the same screen unless I get behind y'all. Huh?
You turn it sideways if you want.
Yes, but that's kind of a Facebook rule. Facebook wants their videos up and down, and that's the only thing I can do. I'm so sorry. I love Facebook, but they want you up and down. YouTube wants you side to side. So I'm going to attempt to talk about this. Xander?
I'm in.
Kendra's in. Xander, I'm going to slide toward. You come get beside Kendra, and I'll get on this outside.
Okay.
That'll be better. That way, I don't mind if no one sees me. Go ahead. You get beside Kendra. Maybe if we had like little stools where we could.
A round table would be better, probably.
Huh?
Maybe if you had a round table.
I was thinking because maybe the problem is all of the arms that take up so much space over here. The arms. Okay, so we're looking good over here on this one. Good. There.
You want me to scoot?
Nope. I think you're perfect. What are you gonna do? Let me get my drink out of your way.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Because I can squeeze in by Xander.
This is not easy.
There we go.
Okay. Y'all ready for this one over here?
Ready enough?
All right. We're going to be asking for your input. Now, I want to remind you that these two are 21 years old. They are adults. There are military. There are soldiers who are the age of 18 all fighting our wars, y'all. So do not sit there and say that these are just kids, lest you should be ashamed of yourself. Okay. So, have y'all ever heard about the positioning that you and your partner are in during conception, if that's the right word, can help determine the gender of a baby? Have y'all ever heard anything about that?
No.
Neither one of y'all have never heard anything about that.
No.
Okay. So, in saying so, and once again, I'm not giggling, I'm not laughing, I'm only speaking science. There is a pretty much guaranteed way to make sure that your offspring will be male if you, in fact, practice.
Sorry, before you keep going, how do you know that Jake's theory works? That's all I want to know.
There are some people in life you can ask them anything. And I've asked Jake for details. So before I say another word, would all of you ladies who have had sons, would you please say, yes, Lester's right? Just say Lester's correct, because the positioning that you're in during conception, or when the sperm meets the egg, or however you want to say it, if you're in a specific position, you're almost guaranteed to get a male child from that. I'm asking for people to say yes, and everyone's screaming no.
What position?
Everyone is screaming no. So now you want to know what position. So I wasn't trying to go there, but more of the doggy style.
now they can actually say yes or no.
But these people already know. They already know. And so Casey's saying, let's just say woof woof. Okay, fine. Woof woof. Okay. So now I'm not saying this is true 100% of the time, but it's true 100% of the people that I've asked. Every time I have someone that I know well enough to talk to them about things, and I say, hey, I see you're having a little boy. Can I ask you a personal question? And they say, sure. And I'm like, when that child was conceived, were y'all in the woof woof position? And 100% of the time, the answer is yes.
That's weird.
Well, there's science. I don't want to explain the science behind it, but there is a scientific reason why that's a whole lot more. Don is saying, nope, you're wrong. Okay, well, I may not be right 100% of the time, but maybe there's something wrong with the way y'all are doing it. If you're saying that I'm wrong, I'm saying that I have 2 sons. Jake has a son. Daniel has a son and a daughter. And we're not going to go into all the details, but
maybe your family just because it's up to
oh
the
no,
guy.
I've asked teacher friends, I've asked people over at the Dollar General. I've seen, if I run across somebody who I feel comfy with talking to them, I'll ask them. And even though it may be a little bit embarrassing at first, for the most part, everyone's like, yeah, you're onto something. You're right. So just saying, if y'all ever are trying to get that mail, remember what Lester told you. Don't think about Lester. Huh?
They're gonna think about, yeah.
He just started saying, "Don't think about Lester."
Don't think about Lester during the moment. Just remember what Lester told you before the moment. Okay? And then, if a few months later you go for that checkup and you get that scan or that gender reveal and ends up being a male, you'll have to come back here and tell me that I was right.
But when you're wrong,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've never been wrong before, ever. So, hey, people who we've asked are Brienne, who has 1 boy and 1 girl. Jake, who has 1 boy and 1 girl. My dad. I don't mind asking people, y'all. I've asked Fire Chief Chris. I've talked to this with a lot of people. Our fire chief, he doesn't mind. He's an open book. Bottom line is, y'all, if you don't want my science, then don't take it. But if you really want that male to be your firstborn, there you go. Have I embarrassed y'all enough for one day yet?
It's not really embarrassing. It's just an awkward topic, really.
Okay, I'm going to go with Betty Freeman over here. Can you all see Betty's? I'm going to pin it. She goes, I have 3 girls and 1 boy. She goes, Lester, you're absolutely right. I pinned her comment.
Wait, no, that says you're not right, Lester.
I'm going to remove that comment right now.
I should have left that.
We're going to unpin that comment. Betty, you're doing it wrong. Betty, shame on you. You might need a little bit more coaching, Betty. A little bit more coaching. I don't have my glasses on, okay? I unpinned that comment because Betty has no idea what she's talking about. So is anyone agreeing with me? Have y'all seen anyone agree with me? Anybody?
I just saw someone say, scroll up a little bit. Can you go up?
Okay, so Alicia says you're absolutely right, Lester. Thank you, Miss Alicia.
What does that say?
Okay, sweetest wedding I ever saw.
The one right below it.
My husband's woof woof didn't work. I had a girl. You have to do your part too there, Miss Jean. You got to do your part. You just can't. You got to play the role as well. So sometimes people don't want to play the role. They want the man to do everything. Women, you have a role to play here as well. And this is why Facebook likes to ban me all the time. This is why This is why I get banned a lot from Facebook. YouTube doesn't care. YouTube encourages conversation and community, and Facebook only wants to talk about what they want to talk about. We can talk about anything Facebook related and we'll be fine, but you don't want to talk about science because Facebook and science don't go hand in hand. Anywho, all right. Well, I'm not going to keep y'all. I'm going to go ahead and say thank y'all for joining me. I don't see anyone else asking any specific questions unless y'all do.
I see
There's no way you're asking people that.
Huh?
Well, that's because we're not at the bottom of it, I don't think.
You have to hit that little blue arrow. And so it's not just an act of God, y'all. It's not
Oh
just
my, Jamie would know.
Jamie would know.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're
No
gonna call
way.
Xander's mom out here.
There's no way.
Jamie!
There's no
Kendra,
way.
would you run
Yeah.
in and just tell Jamie I need her for one question and one question only? Jamie would know.
I do not want to be around for this.
You don't want to be around for this one?
No.
Xander, that
Why
would be
I want to think about
that would be your father, Xander. Now,
I understand.
why are you ashamed of your father and your mom's past, Xander? You don't need to be ashamed of stuff like that.
I just don't want to hear about it. That's all.
You don't want to hear about it.
No.
Is she
but how it's
coming?
conceived.
Yeah, she's coming. She was watching it. She was watching
We're asking one question of Jamie. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. I'm not getting sick.
I don't have any makeup on.
You can
That's
take
okay.
my seat.
Nope, I don't. No.
Okay.
Right here.
You get the hot seat.
Were you in there watching?
Yep.
So Jamie's probably very embarrassed that I'm talking to her kids about this, Xander and Kendra. Jamie, Xander needs to know.
No.
No, I didn't ask that.
Xander
I
needs
saw
to
a
know.
comment And you're like, go get her.
Xander,
You want to know if you're right.
Xander, I've
The
met
Lester Morrow School of Science is not accurate.
Xander, I've met your dad. He's a very nice guy. I just did not actually ask him this particular question the first time that I met him. I probably should have.
No,
No,
probably not.
Jamie, so
you're
you're
not
not
listening. You guys know you've been around long enough to know you don't listen to anything he says. It's not true.
Jamie, you're not going to chime in on this?
I am. I'm telling you, it's not true.
Then how was it then? How did y'all
Okay.
how did
Back
y'all
in the line.
how did y'all
Back in the
conceive
line.
us? How did y'all conceive the son here? She's not gonna answer this question. There's a couple of other ways I could talk. All right.
Oh boy.
Thank y'all for joining me. I'm gonna get back over here now and talk about animal stuff.
All right.
We love
Well,
you guys. I'm glad you're
No
here.
problem.
Thank y'all for jumping in there. Boy, y'all I gotta work on my dad jokes, I guess. My dad jokes. My dad jokes are struggling. Let me get these cameras closer. That was fun. Too much information, says Kim. Kim, I always joke with people and I say, if it's too loud, you're too old. Like the old bumper stickers used to always say, if it's too loud, you're too old. And I kind of feel the same way about a creator's video content. If it's not your content, it's not your content. But you're really not going to be able to shape the creator. You don't want to do that because if you squash someone's artistic style, then you're squashing and you're taking away their artistic style. And I've learned that I'm a lot better when I can just be myself. And that's why sometimes reading comments, when I'm in a good mood, they don't affect me. When I'm in a bad mood, I can get heavily affected and then videos suffer. So we're not going to do that. We are who we are. Laugh for those who like to laugh, and those that find offense to everything, you could find somewhere else to go. Sharon says her favorite bumper sticker of all time: ass, gas, or grass. No one rides for free. That's horrible. That's horrible, Sharon. But I have seen those. Don't be age discriminating, Lester. Brenda, I don't think I was. Because I don't think I am. This is for all ages, okay? But only those in the childbearing years, ages, would be able to put this to the test. Both my boys were made on the couch, is all I remember. Well, Anne, over on Facebook, trust me, you can do that on the couch as well. Couches work just fine, especially if you have a high cushions, like on the. Thank you, Kimberly. She goes, Lester, it may offend some people, but please never change who you are. I won't. I watch numbers. You know, this is kind of like, have y'all ever been watching a movie? Here's an example. I was watching the Netflix series of them roasting Tom Brady. Tom Brady, the quarterback for obviously the Patriots for so long, and then Tampa Bay there towards the end. Tom Brady, we all know Tom Brady, And unlike in basketball, where there might be some debate on who is the GOAT, who is the best of all time, I do think that in football, it's a lot easier to know that Tom Brady is more than likely the best who's ever played the game. You may hate the Patriots. You may hate Tom Brady. You may hate the success of the Kraft family and all the things that the Patriots have done. You may hate the times they've been caught cheating with the ball deflation or videoing teams, illegal videoing. You may hate a lot of things about the Patriots, but I think that there's no one who can argue and say that Tom Brady is not right there at the top. If he's not the greatest of all time, well, he's pretty darn close. And so, in saying so, they were giving him a roast. This is something that they do sometimes. Chris Rock was the comedian, and I felt very uncomfortable with the conversation. Now, I'm sitting in the RV, and I'm watching this roast of Tom Brady, and all the profanity and some of the jokes I thought were kind of not very tasteful, and I felt uncomfortable watching. So I messaged LE and I says, "Are you watching this roast of Tom Brady?" And he was. And yeah, Kevin Hart. And I says, "You don't find that Kevin Hart's just like really like going overboard with the profanity?" And then Drew Bledsoe seemed to be wasted, just like he could barely find his words. And so I all get that it was kind of like in their own style of humor. And you let them go because that's who they are. You don't try to, Tom Brady also played for Michigan. Yes. Don't be mean to Tom Brady, y'all. Don't be mean to Tom Brady. Did I say Chris Rock? I meant Kevin Hart. Forgive me, y'all. I meant Kevin Hart. I think that Kevin Hart and Chris Rock would make a joke out of that. They would probably say something like, "Oh, so all black people look the same to you, huh?" Something to that effect. It would be humorous, and I can laugh with anybody. I can take jokes about me. There's tons of jokes about me, and that's fine, y'all. But Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, but it was Kevin Hart, and he had a really dirty mouth that night. Debbie says, "I've never done the wolf position." Debbie, that is the TMI, Debbie. That's the TMI. I don't like anything that has to do with Kevin Hart. All right, well, let's go ahead and get off of all that right now. But no, I don't even know where we were going with everything. But no, the language was just atrocious. And then they were making jokes about one of the former players who's passed away from suicide. They made jokes about that. And there were just a lot of jokes. Some I thought were very funny, and some were not as funny. So it is what it is. All right. Well, now that we've kind of got into our live, we've had a little fun with Xander and Kendra. We've had some fun with Jamie. We've had a couple of dad jokes. Let me tell you what's going on here at Longhorn Lessers today, and I'll get you off on your way. We have had more animals leave us this morning. It was heartbreaking to watch LE come and get about 14 or 15 of his babies, especially Angel and Okie, the little unibrow. Angel has that little unibrow going across the top. I would love that if the family would roast me. That's what we should do, is a family roast. We should do a family roast. But here's the problem. There's too many sensitive viewers on the channel, and I don't think that you would understand the humor in everything. So, we had to say goodbye to Angel. We had to say goodbye to Okie. And then, so they're going back to the sanctuary along with a whole lot of goats. And then I'm sure that on Ellie's channel, you'll see how all those babies are adjusting to everything back over there. I was a little bit concerned about the pastures, because once you drop those animals off, they're back to eating the grasses there in the pasture. And with all of the flood waters that we've had recently, you want to make sure those pastures are clean. And so we only got one rain since the flood, and I know that rain would have done a lot to kind of wash some of that stuff out and down and back to the soil. So we're going to just keep our fingers crossed. I said, Ellie, you might want to go ahead and deworm all of your goats just to be safe. Sandra says, why don't you do something special? It could be called the roast after dark. And so you put it on at midnight, And so, and you remind everybody that this is a roast. This may have some language. This may have some jokes that you might find to be hurtful. But anyone that volunteers to be roasted has to know that it's all in fun. And I will absolutely be first. I would love to go first, and they can just tear me apart. You know why? Because listen, it's the same thing for like Tom Brady. No matter what anybody gets on that stage and says about Tom Brady, you can't forget that he is Tom Brady and he's done so much. And so jokes are funny and you can kind of laugh and tease and have a little laughter with everything. But he's still Tom Brady. He's great and he knows he's great, and you cannot diminish his record on all of the amazing things that he's done. So I'm not saying that I am not as confident as Tom Brady, but if anyone wants to roast me, then by all means, go ahead. I would love that, and I'm going to welcome that. I think that Buddy would do it. I think that Jake would do it. I think that I'd get Tina and Kim to do it. I could get Stephanie to do it. Brienne would do it. LE might would do it. I don't know for a fact, but that would be a whole lot of fun. We kept all of the pigs here. We also kept the donkeys here. Now, I can't say for a fact how long we're all going to keep everyone over here together. I also told LE to go ahead and start looking into possibly getting Ernie fixed. You don't need to have two intact males over there. And Okie is too small and too young to be fixed. Starla is still here. I saw that question, Pink. Pink Panther says, how about Starla? Starla's going to stay. She's staying here. I hope you looked up Kevin Hart and P. Diddy. I don't think I want P. Diddy anywhere on my phone right now. I don't want P. Diddy anywhere in my search engine, because I think that we're finding out a lot of horrific things about that man who thought himself to be untouchable. And I guess he ended up crossing a line somewhere and realized that he's not as untouchable as what he thought he was. So, yeah, LE might not would do it. I'm still jumping back and forth. I know Buddy would. Buddy would rip me apart. That would be so funny. My mom and dad wouldn't do it. So I'll say it again, Diane. All of the donkeys are here. That means Donkey Dan, Imogene, Ivy, who's really a pony, and Beverly are all here. Uncle Dan would be a part of the roast. He would absolutely do it. I know Brienne would do it. Uncle Dan would be great, I think. Jake would have to not giggle. Jake, you can't go up there and roast somebody and start giggling halfway through. You have to make sure you put on your game face and roast them like you're serious. So I actually did watch that 2 nights ago. I really enjoyed it, but it was hard to watch. It was hard for me to watch. And, you know, I make videos, so I normally don't have a hard time. Yesterday, I don't know if you were able to watch the newscast, but Channel 13 News came out to the property, to the sanctuary, and did a follow-up on the Hurricane Harvey rescues. They swung by Longhorn Lester's first and did an actual interview with Jamie and I. We went down by the river, and then we came back up, and the photographer hung out with all the animals, took some video, and then we met them later over at the sanctuary with the actual reporter, and he fed one of the baby goats and kind of talked about ground zero for all the flooding and then all the babies. It was a neat little, it was just a small, maybe 2 minutes of their time. It's kind of crazy how much time they took coming out, driving out, getting everything set up. They flew their drone around. And I'm like, Jamie, for as much time as that guy was here, it was only a 2 minute. It was only a 2 minute segment on the newscast. But it was still neat seeing the sanctuary, and none of us knew what to expect. We didn't know if it was going to be like interview style or them just talking. So they sent some questions over that we answered. And so for the most part, they did all the talking. Jamie and I were able to say a few things, but they did all the talking themselves. And so we just kind of had to be there. So no, everything at the sanctuary is shaping up. I didn't want to do a whole lot of flood stuff now. The barn house is going to be the biggest challenge because we do, in fact, well, we noticed yesterday that there is some mold beginning to form on the backside of some sheetrock. Even though we cut out all of the stuff that was waterlogged, I think that insulation will sometimes begin to absorb some moisture up into it. So we went about 3 inches higher than what we should have. And I realize now we're going to have to go quite a few inches higher than that. So, oh, I know for a fact Daniel Arms would love to roast me. He actually has before in many ways you probably didn't even catch. I get roasted by Daniel quite often. He's so smooth with it that some people don't catch it. But it's all in humor. Daniel and I are friends. We're personal friends. And so personal friends can roast each other. I don't really see much flaw in Daniel, Jason, or Sean there at Keeping It Dutch. Those are the guys that I'm closest to in social media, and I talk to them daily. But I don't really see a whole lot of angles that I could take in roasting them. I know they would have all kinds of fun with me, but at the same time, I think that I open myself up for stuff like that, and I'm fine. I don't care. I'm fine with stuff. I don't mind. So my channel and their channels would be a little bit different in the fact that we try so hard not to tell you how to do things. We let you do it the way you do it, and then all we do is show you the way we're doing things here. We're not trying to impose our will on anybody besides the clean water thing. That's the only thing. That might be my only roasting angle on Arms Family. But there's no way you could attack Jason with clean water because his water is probably cleaner than ours. I know. So, yeah, there used to be a TV show. Oh, no. Jason lost all the emu eggs? He never told me that. We talked this morning, and he never told me that. Vicky says Jason would not be talking about the wolf. No, he would not. Jason cannot say that. Oh, we have a baby goat here who's come out to join me. Hey, sweetie. I don't know this goat's name. I cannot see myself asking any of those guys, Jason, Dutch, or Sean, Jason, Dutch, or Daniel, about that particular question. I don't think that I like them and I love them as humans. I don't think that we're on that level. Jason, maybe. Ryan the Roaster. I would ask Ryan the Roaster. Y'all think Ryan the Roaster's watching? Has anyone seen Ryan the Roaster? If he's on here, I'll absolutely ask him. I don't know how many kids he has. I don't really talk to Ryan besides just things that he sends me. So we're having a lot of the same questions pop up over and over about the donkeys and the pigs. And so let me just say this. I'm going to go ahead and make a general statement. Everybody who's watching. All right. So we have 1,200. 1,200? We have 1,200 watching on Facebook and 2,400 watching on YouTube. So for all of the 24 plus 12, however many people that is, hear me when I'm going to have one polite request for every video creator back at Morrow Hill, that you have to always remember, and this is a lesson that we've learned, you never want to have too many animals that the creator cannot on their own load and remove from the property, evacuate if necessary. Because I do believe that Daniel, my brother, has a manageable number, and he was able to get all of his in one trailer load and move them over. We took all of LE's in one trailer and moved them over with the exception of the pigs and the donkeys. The reason that I'm really reluctant to move the pigs and donkeys back is because I told this to Ellie. I said, son, it's going to flood again and again and again. So why don't we keep your numbers small enough? Less is more, if you will. Keep your number small enough so if you find one day that we're going to have more flooding, we know what the numbers look like. We even get usually a couple of days advance notice. So in those couple of days, you can only have enough animals that you on your own could go out there and load and transport to another property or another location so as those animals do not have to go through what they went through this past week. So that means that every creator needs to have themselves some type of trailer or some type of cage, kennel in the back of their truck, some kind of a system in place. So if this were to happen again, we will say Longhorn Lusters is available. But don't make us go make multiple trips trying to grab all of these different babies. And so with the pigs, and as hard as it was to move them, I know that Ellie was upset with his dad this morning because I wouldn't let Tiny Tim go back. He loves that pig. And I said, son, I says, I don't want to fight and argue with you. But number one, the pond pasture's not ready yet. It's not ready. The water in the pond is nasty. We still have one of our water wells is not working. The smaller water well is still not working and functional. Hey, sweet boy. And so we still have a whole lot of things to do to get the sanctuary back up and going. It's not where it needs to be yet. So I says, there's no way that that any of the pigs can go today. I says, and if you want to have Tiny Tim over there, you just have to know that what would be your way of getting him out if he had to be evacuated again. I says, as of right now, he's fine, he's healthy, he's happy, and I'd rather just keep the pigs here for now. I just asked him that politely. Don't get on that table. Don't get on that table. Come here. Don't jump on the table. Just jump in my lap here. Sit in my lap. And I said that I says the donkeys are doing wonderful. I said they're all conforming to being a neat little herd out there with your horses and your donkeys and that one pony who we call Imogene or Ivy. And so they're doing wonderful. And so today he only took back goats and the alpaca and Angel, his ram. So, yeah, so I think that, listen, it's not my job, though, to go to every creator and put demands on them. So that will be the followers of the channel to remind them that before you bring in extra animals, how will you evacuate them if you, in fact, have to do that? I think that Jake did a wonderful job of moving some animals over here. And then he tried to take other cows down the road to a neighbor. But we all know that Moo and Oreo would not leave. Moo and Oreo would not leave. They chose to stay there on the hill. And so you couldn't help but watch that water come up all around them. And I know how nervous everybody was. But that's what happens, y'all. You have to realize that if that had been a Hurricane Harvey type flood, which would have been about 4 feet deeper, I don't know. You guys can remember this more than I can, but the night that I rolled up on Moo and Oreo, I think that water was up to about the top of their legs, maybe a little bit lower. So you have to have a plan in place. If you're going to be a responsible pet owner and you're going to have pets in your home, in your barn, in your pastures, you have to have a place for them because flooding in Plum Grove is inevitable. It's going to happen again and again and again. So I do hope that everyone will keep that in mind. And before we get into a panic situation like happened this last time, everyone just think about what your plan of action is going to be and practice that on occasion. Practice. It doesn't matter if it doesn't always flood to this depth, but at least be familiar with how you're going to load your animals, how you're going to move them in a timely manner, so as no one ends up getting trapped or stuck or anything else. Practice loading the animals or get a loading chute. You know, we learned with our pigs that a loading chute wouldn't work, but what we had to use was the little zap zap. And I know people don't like that, especially, you know, because you love these babies so darn much. But there's no way we would have loaded Newt without it. So, Ellie's emu, Ziggy, is a male, and Jake's emu, Littlefoot, is a female. So Jake's will end up growing up to be really mean. Ellie's should grow up to be fairly gentle. So thank you all for saying that was good advice. But listen, it's not my job to tell all of them. If you are a follower of any channel, not just Morrow Hill, but any channel, and you realize that they have animals that are in harm's way of not having a place to go during evacuations, then it's that owner's job to find a way, invest some of that money they're making from the videos into a trailer, into what they would need to be able to move animals. I've told LE, I want you to work more on loading and unloading the trailer. Learn to back up, learn to hook up the trailer. You have to learn to do that. And so he's back at the sanctuary now with the mission in mind that he's going to learn how to operate the truck and trailer, how to drive it down the highway, how to back it up, all the kinds of things that not everyone knows. That's not natural. So Jake's emu is very sweet for now. I can promise you, in a year from now, come back in a year from now and see if we can still say that. Okay. So, well, friends, I'm not seeing any particular questions necessarily. It's nice chit-chatting with you all. So Francis says, Facebook interrupts you with ads, and I'm missing some parts of your live. That's why I'm watching now on YouTube. I do believe that both platforms are going to be playing ads. You can't stop that, Franz. You can't stop it. Jason's at Cog Hill, his emu is very super gentle. Yes, male emus are gentle. It's the female emus that are mean. So it's just opposite with the, it's opposite. Yeah, so as far as the pond dam goes, thank you for your question. But please, you don't have to send any money here, ma'am. I love you so much for just taking time to watch the video. Y'all remember that. We're not asking for your money. I will talk. I'm going to answer two questions right now. One question is what was asked, and the other thing, I just want to get it off my chest. So allow me to talk about these two things right quick. And the noise that you hear is the air conditioner in the RV behind us, where Xander and Kendra are staying. So, what was the question again? What was the darn question? Darn it. I've lost the question. I'll find it. Okay, so she says, what's the word on the spillway over here at Longhorn Lester's? We're going to have the entire thing reworked to get some concrete. We're going to need a concrete, y'all. That concrete is the answer. And we are talking to a company now. We're not negotiating on price. I just want to make sure that it's the fair price. I feel like the initial estimate that I was given was pretty steep because we've done concrete work. Not myself, but the concrete slab here is a very large slab, very large. And I don't think that we paid more than $4,000 for this very large slab. And so for the price quote that I was given for that project, I'm almost certain it's going to be less concrete, but the challenge is going to be the form, how it's going to have to be formed and whatnot. So, and then there'll have to be some very large rock brought in. So I am in contact with a fella who does concrete work. He sent me some ideas, and we will have to figure out if it's feasible and what we should do. So I just don't want to have anybody come in here and size you up and down. Say, oh, so you make social media videos, huh? Oh, you drive a nice truck. Oh, you got some animals. And so people begin to assume that you have all kinds of money, and they don't realize that with all of the things that we try to maintain for the animals and the fencing and all the structures, that stuff costs money. And we're not just here to throw out money to anybody who wants to attempt to do a concrete job. So I need to make sure that the person is reputable and that the money is a good price. And as of the first initial estimate threw me for a loop. It kind of threw me for a loop. So, of course, that guy also knows that we've had 3 failed spillways. So maybe he's trying to take advantage of that as well. And that's what happens this time of year with everyone watching natural disasters happen all around. You just don't want to call one person and just trust that they know what they're doing and they're giving you a fair price. This is going to require a few different options, but we don't always get second opinions or third opinions because there's not that many people around that do this kind of work. So a lot of folks have gone back to the whole emu thing. I don't know if you're just lagging or behind or there's side discussions about that. But Lester, have you ever thought about putting some I'm a Survivor signage at Longhorn Lester's? Can I just say that right now, naming of these properties are all in disarray. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, Longhorn Lester's, and JL Ranch are 3 different properties. But we have to try to find a way to get out of that mindset and just know that if you're watching a Jamie video, it could be from any of those properties. And a Lester video could be from any of those properties. So you don't really know. But what I will say is that even though there may be 3 different properties, all housing tons of amazing animals, they're all receiving the best care that we can give them. And so I don't think we're going to have to specify necessarily today we are at the sanctuary. So these videos can only be about those animals. Don't forget, I'm trying to give Ellie and Megan more autonomy when it comes to the sanctuary, letting them do more of their own thing. Which brings me up to a good point. Yesterday, a lady messaged and she was concerned that she wanted to be a subscriber to the sanctuary. She wanted to be a part of all the vet care and the things that we have going on for all the babies, but she couldn't find a way to subscribe to the other channels, the Longhorn Lesters or the From Suits to Boots and all of that. And I says, ma'am, just know that when it comes to the babies and their well-being, all of those monies go into one account, and that's the account that we use for all of the animal expenses, be it the vet care, be it hay, fertilizer, feed buggy, feeds, farrier, occasional contract labor when we have someone come in and do a job for us, like the farrier or like a Uriel. We pay for sanctuary/animal expenses using most of the monies that you guys collect for us through the I'm a Survivor Facebook supporter group. Now, it's very rare that there's enough money to cover everything in that. So Jamie and I will always supplement out of our monies to match and to make sure we get these jobs done. And so that's something that we wanted to do, that we insist on doing. And we're the kind of people who have a hard time asking for financial help, and we're blessed in the fact that we don't have to very often. What I've had to do a number of times is ask my Facebook people if y'all would be okay with this if I spend money on something that's not directly related to the animals, but it is for the animals' best interest. So as of right now, the pond over here, we all know how much the horses love the pond. We all know how beautiful it makes the property. but we know we're going to lose that pond if that spillway doesn't get fixed. So we may very well have to, at some point, I will go to the sanctuary page, to the supporters, and I'm going to go to them the way I would go to the board. And I would say, this is what I would like to do. This is what I'm going to need to do it. This is what I think might work. And so, in saying so, since they are the stakeholders and I'm a survivor as far as the finances go, then absolutely they deserve to have a voice in all of that. And I will listen to the voice of all of that. Am I still pumping water out? I've stopped pumping water out. We're about a foot below the top of the spillway. So I'm not pumping right now. Come tomorrow, Saturday, no, come Sunday, we may be having quite a bit of more rain Sunday. So I may go out and pump a few more feet out before those storms hit. But I think we're going to be fine. So we do not buy, guys, I don't know if you know, there are very strict regulations and rules around how your monies get spent. So we're not the kind of people who are taking elaborate vacations around the world or buying fancy clothes and doing all that kind of stuff. We have expenses that we will pay for, but let's not delve too much into money, because that's what we're going to do, is we're going to end up dividing our audience right now. And we have a wonderful audience, and we don't want to divide you all up by talking about money. So let's just go ahead and let the money thing go. So I was going to talk a little bit about one more thing, what I said earlier, and it's just about the different creators, and we're trying to give those creators a chance to tell their own stories. Babe, you can come join me if you want for a few minutes. So Uncle Dan's little goats are out again, and Jason and Jamie's a little bit concerned about what they're going to do to her garden. So. Well, listen, I don't really know if there's anything else you want to ask me in particular. I'm trying to look at both platforms to read any specific questions for me. I'll be happy to talk about them. Many things has already been. Lester, position has nothing to do with gender. Marge, I'm so sorry. I guess you have little girls. Just saying. I'm sorry, Marge. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. But it's also based on a lot of experience, okay? A lot of experience. When is Dan getting his babies? Uncle Dan's fencing is not ready yet. And that's what I should be doing, is helping Uncle Dan do his fencing today. But we have Xander and Kendra here. I needed a break off as well. I have tons to do at the barn dominium. I have a whole lot to do. But guys, don't forget that when things like this happen, a lot of people's lives are put on hold. And so we don't mind holding Dan's animals here. And also, Dan has not asked me for help. If he or Jake asks, I know they both have fencing issues, as does my dad. But I'll absolutely take time to get over there and help with their fences. But I don't want to impose and just jump on that without them knowing, that I was asked to help. Lester, your science is crazy, but you're right. Okay, well, listen, it may be crazy science, and no one would ever publish this because there could be other factors, the size of the tool, or who knows what else might be a factor in all of this. But I am so very sorry that no one believes my science. Well, hey, it worked with Jake, and you guys who've been watching for a while, you can remember the very first time that Jake and Lissa announced their pregnancy. It was on a live, and I says, Jake, I'm going to ask you one question. I says, when y'all were doing the do, I said, without getting too graphic, at the moment of conception, and I don't know if that's what they actually call it, but at the moment, at the Big Bang Theory, can I just say that during the Big Bang Theory? Can I just say during the Big Bang, at that moment during the Big Bang, what was the positioning? And of course, Lissa turned 100 shades of red. Jake began to giggle, but he knew what I was about to ask, and he nodded his head. And I think that Jake even said, woof, woof, which is all he had to say. And if now we don't find out what I predicted several months back, that they'll be having themselves a little boy. See, a lot of you ladies, y'all are too classy for that. Y'all are too classy for all that stuff. So what y'all want to do is walk up to that lady and say, "Oh my God," and y'all want to put your hands on her tummy, like, "Oh, I feel that it's low. It must be a little whatever. Oh, that baby's riding high. I bet it's going to be a whatever." And that right there makes y'all feel like y'all are okay. Y'all can do that and get by with it, but y'all are wrong. Half the time, y'all are wrong. You can go by and you can touch everyone's tummies and tell them what you think. Oh, she had labor pains. It must be a boy. Or, oh, she's been very cranky lately. It's going to be a girl. Y'all, that's just y'all speculating. You got to use a little bit of science on it, okay? And Sandra says, I'm not that classy. I'll tell you straight up. Okay, so ladies, now we're still wondering and waiting. And this is not me being perverse, but how many ladies can say, I had a son and Lester was right? Simple as that. I've had sons and Lester is right. Brenda goes, I'm not too classy. I'll answer any question. All right. So I had a son and Lester is right. Lester, you're a bad boy, but I love it. Thank you, Lori. I'm blushing. I have no children here. Okay, Mandy, but if that day ever happens, you also have to say, well, do I want a boy or do I want a girl? And that has to be the way you determine it. Christy Smith says, I have a son and Lester's right. Angie says, I've never heard of the wolf-wolf theory, but I do have 4 boys. Angie, then just tell us, Angie. Can we just say, I don't even know. Anywho, well, listen, I think that my hour's about up. I don't know what we got accomplished. My dad jokes were a flop. My theory with Xander and Kendra was a flop. Jamie didn't do anything to support me on all of that, which was just her being too embarrassed to talk about it because she knows that what it is true. You know it's true. You're just embarrassed to talk about it. Jamie's like, I'm a lady. I'm not going to turn my back on no man. I am not ever turning my back on no man because I'm a lady. I will look my man right in his eye. Okay, well, if you want to talk that way, ladies, and be that kind of, okay, I ain't going to judge you. Keep on having little girls in. Keep on having little girls and wonder why you ain't got no little boys because you want to look your man in his eye during the Big Bang Theory. Yeah, we'll just call this the Big Bang Theory, okay? So what? So Aline, she's from France. Hold on, this is cute. Now listen, y'all over there are nastier than what we are. Y'all are nastier than what we are over here. So she's from France, and she says, so what is the position to get a girl? Well, that normally happens when your man is a bit lazy and he only wants to lay there. What? If you ever look down and see your man just laying there, that means it's a girl on the way. That means it's a girl on the way. A man who only going to lay there don't need to have a boy anyway. He does not need to bring no boys into this world. If a man's just going to get there and lay there like that, put his hands behind his head and look at you, he doesn't deserve to have a boy. She is shooing me off the computer. I love y'all. I'm having fun with you today. Why not laugh a little bit? Life is way too stressful right now to get too serious about. If you're sitting there huffing and puffing mad, boy, you just allowed me to steal your light. I just stole your light, y'all. Don't let anyone steal your light, okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. She's not from France. She's from Quebec. Replace. I'm going to replace that pinned message. And if I could, I would like to comment on that. I'm going to try to comment and put a Canadian flag to show that all due respect. But do you speak French? Alicia says, I have a son and a daughter, and Lester is right on. Guys, I'm not trying to get too personal. I'm just trying to give you some science that no one else will tell you. But Jamie says, get off. She says, get off the phone, get off the computer. I'm ruining my my credibility with you guys. But she's not reading the comments that I'm reading. If nothing else, I hope you're having a nice laugh. Hope you're having a good laugh. We're going to go gather up and go eat. Having buffalo wings today at our favorite new restaurant down the road. We're taking Xander and Kendra to a place called The Pub. And they're both old enough to go inside now, play some pool, eat some wings. How long till we leave, babe?
We're waiting on you, love.
They are waiting on me. So
We got peppers and tomatoes.
I'll challenge you to eat a pepper here on camera.
You don't want to eat these.
Yeah, I'll eat one if you'll eat one.
You don't want
It's going to burn, but I'll eat one if you'll eat one. You going to eat one? This is going to hurt so bad. Wait, why is yours tiny and orange?
The same
Why?
type. Yours is just more red. Yours is more red.
This is going to burn more than yours. So I'll take a bite of yours and you'll take a bite of mine. We'll eat the same one. There. Is this fair?
Okay.
Who's going to go first?
You.
You're not going to back out on me? You're not going to back out on me, right?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? How much do I need to bite? Show me the marker I need to bite it. Oh, just a tip?
Just the tip.
That enough?
Mm-hmm. How hot is it?
It is very, very, very hot. Like, it is very, very hot. It is so very hot. My tongue is on fire. Can I spit it out?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Is that bad?
Oh, it's delicious.
It smells hot.
It's delicious.
It's Tabasco. That's a Tabasco pepper. So you can make Tabasco sauce.
It's delicious, but man, come on, Jamie.
Ooh, no.
Jamie.
It's way too hot.
Jamie.
My tip of my tongue is on fire.
That right there is one heck of a pepper.
Son of a bill.
So we will put these in our beans. Whenever I make beans, I drop a few of these in. I like the flavor to get around the beans, but whenever I get my bowl of beans out, I make sure I find it and toss it because I only want the flavor of the pepper, not the actual pepper. Man.
It's a good pepper, though. It's good flavor, but it's hot.
It's delicious flavor. If anyone wants peppers, let us know. We got a lot of them.
We have there's probably 200 or 300 in 3 little plants.
That is still burning, even after 2 swigs of Dr. Pepper. And I
don't even like Dr.
out.
Pepper. And
wow, yeah, all you took was a sliver, though. I don't think yours really counts as far as the amount of.
It's hot.
Anyway, I'm gonna have wings anyway, and my wings will be hot, so I don't guess it's really gonna matter. It's not gonna ruin my meal.
That's a really fabulous hot, though. I can't wait to make pepper jelly now. Got to learn that recipe.
That is a great one.
Help me
I
end
love
my
y'all
life
real fast.
So much. Thank you for entertaining Lester for the last hour. We got a lot accomplished inside, and now we are ready to take him to lunch.
So real fast, the outline, not the outline, the agenda for the next couple of days. We got heavy rain coming Sunday,
and
so
Monday,
there's no guarantees that we'll be doing sanctuary stuff on Sunday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we will go back to the sanctuary, and we're going to attempt to finish the barn dominium, but we're only on the clean out stage. We still have insulation, a little bit of sheetrock that we have to get out of the house. We have the ACs going. We have the dehumidifier. We have fans going. We have to dry it out.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back by and spray some bleach. Even though everyone is telling me that bleach is not the best thing to use. There's a lot of people who are saying that bleach does kill, but there's other things that are even better to use. You know about that? I've only used bleach, y'all. Now, this is my second time doing this, but I only used bleach the first time around. But if there truly is something different, Someone needs to let me know exactly
Don't
what
send
to
it
use.
to us. Just send us the link or send us the
Yeah,
picture of
don't
it.
send us. We don't want the ingredients. Don't send anything. Just let us know what types of chemicals you would recommend that we use to get the bleach off of the studs and out of the wiring and out of the house. But we do have Xander's going to help us out with the wiring. Excited to get him to put his skills to the test. And then you and I will just keep doing barn dominium stuff. Ellie and Megan are getting their pastures back in order. They took animals back today. I think I've covered everything.
We love y'all. I only have a short lunch hour today, so I'm taking him now, and we're going. Have a great Friday.
We love you all so much. Thank you all for joining us. We're blessed to have you. And don't forget, Jamie and I will be coming live tomorrow morning with coffee, but we have to wait until Cog Hill's done. Oh, y'all want to hear an embarrassing story?
Let's go.
I'm coming. Make sure that when y'all see Cog Hill, y'all ask them about this. I don't know why, but I've been so busy lately that my days are all running together. My days are all just running together. And today's Friday. I thought it was Saturday. And so I get back home from the JL. It's like 8 o'clock. And I'm thinking, I wonder why Jason and Brooke are not live yet. And so I know that Xander and Kendra were still asleep. Jamie was up. I'm like, babe, let's go ahead and get our coffee and go live. Jason and Brooke are not doing it today for some reason. And so she goes, you better message him first. So I'm like, hey, bud, are you guys not going to go live today with your coffee? He goes, today's Friday. We go live on Saturday mornings. Oh my gosh. How did I forget that, y'all? I forgot that today was Friday. And then Jamie says, and you got your Lunch with Longhorn Lester live in a couple of hours. So we did not go live for that reason. I had my days all mixed up. I'm glad I messaged Jason ahead of time, though. So tomorrow they will be going live Saturday like they always do. And they normally get on there about 8:30 and go to about 9:30. So tomorrow morning, 9:30, Jamie and I will come out and say hi to you all with our coffee. You guys have you a cup ready to join us, okay? All right. Well, we love you so much. Please be safe. If you are, in fact, that pepper is going to start doing that stuff to me now. If you are, in fact, in a dangerous place in the country with mudslides or with tornadic activity, storming or heavy rains, please listen to your news and do what they ask you to do. Take care of yourself. Be safe. We need you guys back here. And we love you so much. We want you to stay safe in all of this. And we appreciate you guys being here for us during our really hellacious week last week. Things are starting to look back to normal. And so we're blessed for that. Oh, there's plenty of work to still do. There's still plenty of work to do. But things are starting to kind of come back into order. So if I'm not careful, I'm going to miss my lunch with Jamie, says Jill. Jill, I'm going right now. Thank y'all for watching. We love you so much. Let me give you a hat tip to you Facebookers. We'll see y'all in the next one. And then, of course, YouTube, we're so blessed to have you. I'm reading that there's a lot more ads than normal. Friends, I don't know how to control the ads. I don't know what YouTube and Facebook do and how they manage that. For as many people who keep saying they're seeing double the ads, there's also folks who are saying, I'm not seeing any ads. I haven't gotten any ads. I don't really know exactly how that works. So forgive us for that. But yeah, so Teresa Eulenhake and Dave Epstein both say that don't worry, we know that ads are how you guys get paid. And that is true. Ads are how we make money. Now, of course, we don't make all the money. We get a percentage of the ads. So, but we do appreciate that. But please make sure you skip those ads. If an ad ever pops up, do not ever feel like you're obligated to sit there and watch the entire ad just for us. Don't do that, y'all. If it gives you the option to skip, then by all means, just skip it. Now you're all screaming, go eat, go eat. All right, I'll go eat. Thank y'all so much. We love you, and we will catch you guys on the next video. We're blessed to have you, y'all. I don't say it enough how blessed we are to have you. Okay, bye, friends.